WMBG, we are Williamsburg's radio station, Williamsburg WMBG listeners, and anyone else streaming us out there on the internet. Welcome in. It is Thursday. It is after 3:15, and that means it is time for the Super Sound Showcase brought to you by Retro Daddio in Williamsburg. Shout out to Jen over at Retro Daddio. We know you're watching. You always are. You are so good to us, and we like to think we're pretty good to her back. So I would like to welcome in our special guest today. We have Billy Brockmann in studio. Billy, welcome in.
Hello, thanks for having me.
You can pull that closer. You can move that. There you go. There we go.
Cool.
So Billy Brockmann is in studio with us, and this is a unique performance that we're going to get today. This is the first stand-up bass player we've had in here. Moreover, the first one that we've had in here solo, and I know everyone is super interested to learn. So for anyone watching on Facebook Live, in the video that we will post afterwards, they'll see this bass that you're playing. It is huge. It's like two of me. It's gargantuan. So tell us a little bit about how I'm so baffled by how you play it. I was watching you warm up, and it just looked insane. So tell the people a little bit about what it's like to play an instrument that big.
Oh, it's really cumbersome, to say the least. But it's a labor of love, you know. I grew up here in York County Schools, went through the strings program, which I started on cello, and then I figured I was like, yeah, that's not small enough. I need to upgrade to a bigger instrument. So then a year later, I started on the bass.
So honestly, and you're a little bit on the taller side, and it's a good thing that you are, because this thing is huge. I mean, how tall is that thing? How much does it weigh?
Oh, this sucker right here. This bass weighs probably 30 pounds.
30 pounds.
It's on the heaviest. It's probably the heaviest bass in the world.
Wow.
To tell you the truth, but yeah, it's a slightly bigger bass. They call it a 7/8. Most basses are 3/4, and then 4/4s are very rare. Usually, yeah, what I heard is usually they come out of England, or the 4/4s. But yeah, this one is a Romanian unlabeled flatback violin corner bass. I just got a lot of work on it recently, so it's been sounding pretty good.
Now, one of the interesting things about you is that you have been playing for so long. You said you've been playing for 24 years, which for those who are unaware is just about as long as I have been alive on this earth. So your expertise basically dwarfs my lifetime. You know, what is the process like learning an instrument like this? How tough is it to actually grasp and master?
Well, like I said, I started with the strings program, and then, you know, going to Bruton High School, I went through the concert band program and the jazz band there, and you know, just learning to read music that way. Having done a few of those years, I did the All-State Orchestra, and then, you know, going off to college, I studied music, and it's just you know, you get used to the rigors of playing the instrument, and of course, you know, playing the bass is really special because, you know, you can play in a bluegrass band, you know, you can play in an orchestra, you can play in a jazz band, and all different styles of music. So it's real fun.
And you had mentioned the orchestra. That is one of the things that makes you so unique. Normally, a lot of the people we have on here, they're in a more traditional band. You have your eye set on the orchestra scene, yes?
Yeah, you know, a stable paycheck is a good life. You know, that's what I've understood thus far in life. You know, trying to get that going. So I've been shedding on orchestra excerpts, they call it. You know, I haven't really ever done that, and so I took a few lessons with Chris White, the principal bassist at the Virginia Symphony, and yeah, just trying to get my feet wet in that world, and hopefully procure some a section bass position in an orchestra. And
outside of the steady paycheck, which we all know is super important, what is it about the orchestra playing that really appeals to you?
Oh, you know when you're watching a movie and you get chills, you know, you know, that's what I get, you know, when I play in an orchestra, and you know, in a jazz band, I kind of get more thrills, you know, and you know, so it's different, but you know, orchestra is really my origination of music training, so going back to my roots.
Gotcha. So I'm curious then, because there are some people out there who like listening to soundtrack music, which a lot of time is orchestral in nature. So I'm curious, what does Billy Brockmann listen to when he's not playing the bass or practicing?
Lately it's been 90.3 or 107.5, I think. It's the classical stations around here. That's really what I like to listen to. If money didn't really matter, I'd be a film composer.
Okay.
Being a section bass in an orchestra is probably more attainable than that. But yeah, that's really where I'm been listening to a lot more of. Yeah.
So you really do have those classical music tastes then.
Yeah, even though I don't know what the composer is, who the composer is, or what the piece is, but I can sing some melodies here and there.
Just know it sounds nice.
It sounds nice, yeah.
And so going back to you yourself, what is the favorite song that you play?
Wow.
Loaded question, I know.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to answer. I mean, I don't know. I tend to gravitate to I don't know, kind of like maybe a darker sound, more melancholy.
Okay.
But we'll see what comes out. I haven't really prepared for this show. I apologize if it sounds terrible, but
I mean, I can say, ladies and gentlemen, during warm-ups, it sounded just fine to me. So to the untrained ear, it sounds good, and I would imagine we have a lot of untrained ears out there. So you're going to put on a good performance, I guarantee it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Billy Brockmann here in studio on the Super Sound Showcase, brought to you by Retro Daddy-O in Williamsburg. We are going to go to a quick commercial break, and when we come back, he is going to perform for us live in studio. You are listening to WMBG. WMBG, we are Williamsburg's radio station. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back in to the Super Sound Showcase, brought to you by Retro Daddy-O in Williamsburg. Those of you on Facebook Live just got to see the cowbell in person. We are here with Billy Brockmann, and he is about to play some live music for us. Again, for those of you watching on Facebook Live, you can see this stand-up bass that is towering over Billy Brockmann, which would tower over me. And, I'm super excited to watch him play this. So, Billy, are you ready to perform? Oh, yeah. All right. In that case, ladies and gentlemen, here is Billy Brockmann on the Super Sound Showcase, brought to you by Retro Daddy-O. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Brockmann in studio here on the Super Sound Showcase, brought to you by Retro Daddio in Williamsburg. I can just say, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not watching on Facebook Live, the facial expressions that Billy is making when he's playing, he's just so concentrated and he's just so into it. It's honestly a treat to watch. He is getting so into this, and it is something to behold. If you're not watching on Facebook Live, I encourage you to tune in, or if nothing else, check the video on WMBGradio.com and abouttheburg.com afterwards. So, Billy, I'm going to let you play us out with one more. You got another one in you? All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this edition of the Super Sound Showcase. I'm going to leave you today with the sounds of Billy Brockmann here on WMBG.